crazy because the white man was crazy. That's their problem. Now that's probably not going to come back again, right? So that's what's going on online now. All the white Trump people that think that we hate America.
Oh God.
They're coming out to beat up people. Okay.
Okay.
You're not protesting, they gonna stop us.
Uh-huh.
Go to the mall, walk to the store, somebody walking out.
Hi.
We already apologized. We already centered ourselves away from people that would do something crazy to protect us. And guess what? And then
hi, Mom.
I was telling
how are you? I have a little update. Go ahead. You talk first.
Well, that's not us. I was like, okay, this is at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was all over social media that we
Well, guess who just got all the footage of the press conference, shook hands with the chief of police, the assistant police chief, talked with the spokesman, and finally shook the hand of Charlie Hales and his wife and met her. And Charlie finally paid us a compliment. And what he said is the day after Trump got elected, some of our regular activists were in City Hall, and we proved that democracy can happen, and they spoke and said their piece and did democracy in a way such that he's basically somehow said they were influential activists. And that's when I walked in to the front, because I wanted people to realize, yes, Charlie Hales just called me influential. So I jumped him right as he was done with the press conference, and I said, Charlie Hales, did you just call me influential? And he shook my hand and said, yes, you are influential. And then I moved over to talk to the police chief. And I told Miss Nancy Hales if probably will be, yeah. All the channels were going. I was hiding behind the pillars, getting a different angle of footage, but I peeked my head in, and who knows? Yeah.
That's not what they told me when
Miss Nancy Hales, I told her, Charlie has to deal with me and my loudmouth Irish personality all the time. But if anybody ever made a move on him, on his life, I would be the first one to jump in and attack him. And I think he knows that. And this supports, now he does, now that I told his wife. And I told her, I love him. And she's looking at me like, what? I'm like, I love him. And I said, in a Christian way. In a hippie way. And I didn't have time to go into it, and then I just told her if anything were to ever happen to him, I would protect him. And found out from his assistant, which she was really nice to me too, that he can't give direct orders to police as police commissioner. So if the police are in the middle of doing something wrong, he's kind of a somebody and a nobody at the same time. And I mean, isn't that how it always is, or how they create power and destroy power and encourage power and take risks? But the police chief, the one who were outraged that he strangled his son, I basically came up to him and I had this question, and I told him, number one, I need to be more forgiving. I'm a very unforgiving person, and I just want to apologize. And he's like, no, I always like talking to you. And so he already likes me, because we had a long talk about Ben a long time ago. And then then we talked about, basically I said, it occurred to me that there's a chance that there were two sides to this story, and there was more to this story. And he started to nod. And then I said, you know what that does? That actually puts you in a position of the hero. And that was what is done in domestic violence families, is somebody covers for a perpetrator. And then I suggested, does that mean you're the fall guy? And I think what he refused to tell the media that his son was assaulting him and that is where, that's what it was kind of indicating from the conversation. And it's almost like he needed to get that off the chest, and as a journalist I wasn't recording, but I realized he really needed to say that, because he doesn't want to be demonized, and the only thing that will set him free is telling the truth. And he's still not there yet, but he just told me the truth. And I can do that, Mom. I get people to talk. And in a way, I told him, well, I am a strangulation victim and kidnapping and rape and abduction and stalking. And I basically listed him off my litany of violent things I have done in self-defense, which is punch my abusive alcoholic boyfriend, or defend my domestic violence girlfriend from her attacking boyfriend by pinning him up on a wall. And once it's not like I'm bragging about being violent, but I'm letting him know that if somebody is under attack and needs to be neutralized, I do understand the perspective of defense. And I told him I kicked Ben Pickering in the nuts, and he said, I remember. He knows the Ben Pickering story, and he said, I remember that. And I don't know if that's because Ben talked to the police about that, but I think it's also, I wrote that in my blog. Like, I am out with that is how bad Ben was. And I feel that was a moment where I really understood the police perspective of when a man is out of control and you have no options and you're little and you're scared and you're going to be killed, you react. And he just almost looked like so heartfeltly touched that I still wish the woman was in the role. He's he's almost too presentable. You know, like women who are always so put together. He's just extremely thin, extremely tall, gray, decent looking, probably very English or something, really tall and lanky. And he's presentable and he's well spoken and sensitive, and he doesn't ever say the wrong thing. But I don't know. I think we needed a woman, and if we had Donna Henderson, I think the riot aspect would be less. If we had the Charlie Hale's resignation, the riot aspect would be less. Charlie has been festering the citizens with anger by refusing to be as honest as he could be, or as nonviolent as he could be. And so I do think they've made it worse, but now they're at a turnaround point. And when I think cleaning up your house back in the years ago, the rocks in the garden, I was thinking one day Portland is going to riot. We knew it would happen. And I de-rocked your garden, guess why? So your windows wouldn't get crashed when the riot comes. Because you're my mom. To me, maybe that's why I was motivated, is I realized, like in Israel and Palestine, the only weapons they have are rocks. People get hit by rocks all the time. And rocks are a weapon at all times. Now, what did you see on the news? Anything good?